under this full moon, I still secretly wish your arms were the last place I could call home. There are nights when the world goes silent, and the moon becomes the only witness to the love we still carry inside us. Tonight, under this full moon, I don't wish for riches. I don't wish for another chance at life. I only wish for one impossible thing, to hold you one more time, not to fix the past, not to ask you to stay, just one quiet moment, where your head rests against my chest, and for a few seconds, the universe forgets that we were ever torn apart, because some people leave your life, but never leave your soul. And no matter how far they go, every moonlit night still feels like it belongs to them. So if you're listening to this tonight, maybe you know this feeling, too. The feeling of missing someone so deeply that even the stars begin to feel heavy. Tonight, the moon feels closer than usual, like it came down just enough to sit beside me and listen to the things I never say out loud. The whole world is quiet, but inside me, your voice is still echoing, your laughter still moves through my memories like soft music playing in another room. And no matter how much time passes, there are nights like this where it all comes back at once. The way you looked at me when words were unnecessary, the way your fingers fit between mine like they had been searching for me long before we ever met. The way silence felt safe whenever you were near. I wonder if you still look at the moon too. I wonder if somewhere, under this same sky, you pause for a second and think about us. Not the ending, not the pain, just us, the beautiful parts. The ordinary moments, that secretly became the most important memories of my life. Because love is strange like that. It doesn't always stay where we want it to stay. Sometimes it leaves fingerprints on your soul, and disappears before you're ready. Sometimes it walks away while your heart is still unpacking its bags. And sometimes, no matter how hard you try to move forward, one quiet night under a full moon is enough to bring every feeling back to life. There are so many things I never got to say to you, not because I didn't feel them, but because I thought we had more time. Isn't that the saddest lie life tells us? The illusion that tomorrow is guaranteed. The belief that there will always be another conversation, another embrace, another chance to hold someone a little longer before they leave. If I had known some moments were the last moments, I would have memorized them better. I would have held your hand tighter. I would have looked at your face a little longer before saying goodbye. I would have listened more carefully to the sound of your breathing beside me. Because now, those tiny moments haunt me, in the gentlest way possible. I still remember nights when we stayed awake talking about everything and nothing. The world outside could have fallen apart, and I wouldn't have noticed because you were there. You made life feel softer. Safer. Like maybe broken people could still find peace in each other, and maybe that's what hurts the most. Not losing you completely, but losing the version of myself that only existed around you. The version that smiled without forcing it, the version that believed love could actually stay. People always talk about heartbreak like it arrives loudly, like storms and screaming and dramatic endings. But sometimes heartbreak is quiet, sometimes it's sitting alone at midnight, staring at the moon, while your chest aches with memories nobody else can see. Sometimes it's hearing a song, and instantly remembering the way your head rested against my shoulder. Sometimes it's reaching for your phone before realizing there's no message coming anymore. I tried to forget you. God knows I tried. I distracted myself with noise, with work, with crowded places and empty conversations. I convinced myself that healing meant pretending you never mattered. But love doesn't disappear just because we want it to. Real love stays hidden in ordinary things. In certain streets. Certain songs. Certain nights like this one. And tonight, under this full moon, every part of me misses you. Not in a desperate way, not in a way that blames you for leaving. Just in a deeply human way, the kind of missing that comes from having experienced something beautiful and knowing you may never touch it again. I miss the way your eyes softened whenever you looked at me after a hard day. I miss your sleepy voice late at night. I miss the warmth of your hand finding mine, without thinking. I miss the little pauses in our conversations, where no one needed to speak, because love itself filled the silence. You know what nobody tells you about love? Sometimes the most painful relationships are the ones filled with genuine care. Not toxic love, not cruel love, but real love interrupted by timing, fear, distance or life itself. And maybe that was us. Maybe we were two souls who truly loved each other, but arrived at the wrong chapter of life. Maybe we carried wounds we didn't know how to heal, maybe we wanted forever, but didn't know how to survive reality. I don't know anymore. What I do know is this. Even now, after everything, I still wish peace for you. I hope life has been gentle with your heart. I hope someone reminds you to eat when you get lost in your thoughts. I hope the world gives you reasons to laugh again. And selfishly, I hope there are moments when you miss me too. Not because I want you to suffer, but because I want to believe I mattered to you the way you mattered to me. There are nights when I replay our memories like old films in an empty theater. You smiling from across the room. You pretending not to laugh at my terrible jokes. You falling asleep beside me, while rain touched the windows. Those moments felt so ordinary back then. But now they shine brighter than anything else in my memory. Funny, how love changes the value of time. 1 minute with the right person can become a memory you carry forever, and one goodbye can echo through years. I used to think strength meant learning how not to feel, but I was wrong. Real strength is carrying love, even after it breaks you. Real strength is waking up every day with a heavy heart and still choosing kindness. Real strength is accepting that some people become part of your soul, even if they can't stay in your life. Sometimes I ask myself if you were my greatest blessing or my greatest lesson, maybe both, because loving you taught me things no book or philosophy ever could. You taught me that vulnerability is beautiful. That tenderness is not weakness, that even damaged hearts can create something extraordinary together for a little while. And despite the pain, I would still choose you. That's the terrifying thing. If time somehow folded in on itself and gave me another chance, I know I would still walk toward you. I would still fall for your voice, your smile, your chaos, your silence. Even knowing how the story ends, I would still choose the moments we shared over a lifetime of never knowing you at all. Because some connections are rare, the kind that shake your soul awake, the kind that make the universe feel less lonely. You were that for me. There are people who touch your hand, and then there are people who touch your life. You touched mine in ways I still can't explain. Before you, everything felt temporary. After you, even memories became sacred. I remember the way moonlight used to fall across your face. I remember thinking that no photograph could ever capture how beautiful you looked in quiet moments. Especially when you weren't trying. Especially when you forgot the world was watching. And maybe that's why this full moon hurts tonight, because it reminds me of those nights. The nights where we believed love alone could protect us from losing each other. We were so innocent back then, we thought feelings were enough. But life asks for more than love sometimes. It asks for timing, patience, healing, sacrifice, and not everyone survives that test together. Still, a part of me refuses to regret us. Even broken love can be meaningful. Even unfinished stories can leave behind something beautiful. You left behind pieces of yourself in me that will probably stay forever. The way I listen more carefully now. The way I appreciate silence. The way I notice little things, because you taught me that little things are often the most important. I wonder if you know how loved you were, not admired, not desired. Loved, the kind of love that notices when your smile hides exhaustion. The kind of love that memorizes your fears and tries to protect you from them. The kind of love that stays awake at night hoping you got home safely. That's how I loved you. Quickly. Deeply. Completely. And maybe I didn't always say it perfectly. Maybe I failed in ways I still replay inside my head, but none of it ever changed the truth of what I felt for you. You were home to me. Not a place, a feeling. The kind of feeling people spend their whole lives searching for. Now I walk through crowded streets and still feel alone sometimes, because once you've experienced that kind of connection, ordinary interactions stop reaching the same depth. People think moving on means erasing someone. I don't think that's true. I think moving on simply means learning how to carry the memory without letting it destroy you. It means accepting that someone can still matter even if they no longer belong beside you. And I'm trying. Some days are easier than others. Some mornings I wake up and almost feel okay. Then a certain smell, a certain song, or a moonlit sky pulls me backward without warning. Healing isn't linear. Love isn't either. Sometimes I feel angry at fate for bringing us together only to separate us. Other times, I feel grateful that I got to experience something real in a world where so much feels temporary and performative. You made my life real, that's the simplest way I can explain it. Before you, I existed. With you, I felt alive. And now, under this full moon, all I can think about is how badly I wish we could hold each other one more time, not forever, just once. One final embrace where no words are needed, no explanations, no promises. Just two hearts remembering what it felt like to belong together for a moment. I think about how your arms felt around me during difficult nights, how somehow the world became quieter when you held me close. Like anxiety itself lost its voice in your presence. People underestimate the power of being held. Sometimes it heals wounds no medicine can touch. Sometimes one embrace says everything language fails to express. I'm here. You're safe. You matter. That's what your arms used to tell me without speaking. And maybe that's why I miss holding you so much, because it wasn't just physical closeness. It was emotional shelter. It was peace. Tonight the moon is huge above the city, glowing like an old memory refusing to fade. And I can't help imagining you somewhere beneath it too. Maybe standing by a window, maybe unable to sleep, maybe thinking about someone you once loved deeply, maybe thinking about me. I know life moves forward. I know people change. I know love stories don't always get rewritten with happy endings, but there's still something sacred about remembering honestly. And honestly, I loved you with everything I had, not perfectly. But sincerely, you became part of my prayers without even knowing it. Part of my future plans, part of the invisible world, inside my heart that very few people ever get invited into. I used to imagine growing older beside you. Laughing at the same jokes years later. Falling asleep during movies together. Arguing over meaningless things and making up before bed. I imagined ordinary forever with you, and somehow that dream felt more beautiful than anything extravagant, because love isn't always fireworks. Sometimes it's comfort. Sometimes it's simply finding someone whose presence makes the weight of life easier to carry. You did that for me. Even your silence comforted me. Even your tired eyes made me feel understood, and now there's this emptiness where your presence used to be. A quiet ache that appears most strongly at night when distractions disappear and memories grow louder. I think that's why people fear nighttime after heartbreak. Darkness removes all the noise we use to escape ourselves. And suddenly there's nothing left except truth. And the truth is, I still miss you. I miss who we were before life complicated everything. I miss believing we were untouchable. I miss the softness between us before distance and pain found their way in. But more than anything, I miss holding you, because when I held you, the world made sense. For a little while, all the chaos stopped mattering. Bills, fears, failures, expectations. None of it felt heavier than our love. We were just two fragile humans trying to survive life together, and maybe that's enough to make someone unforgettable. I wonder if love ever truly dies. Or if it simply changes form. Maybe it becomes memory, maybe it becomes wisdom, maybe it becomes the ache you feel when the moon is full and the world is asleep. All I know is that some part of me will probably always search for you in crowds. In songs, in dreams, in every version of happiness I encounter from now on. Not because I'm stuck in the past, but because real love leaves, echoes, and yours still lives inside me. Sometimes people ask why certain heartbreaks take years to heal. The answer is simple. You don't just lose a person. You lose routines, dreams, versions of the future, pieces of identity. You lose the life you quietly imagined together. And rebuilding after that takes time, especially when the love was genuine, especially when the memories were beautiful, especially when the goodbye never truly felt finished. Maybe that's what tonight is really about. Not sadness alone, but unfinished emotion, words still trapped in the chest, love still searching for somewhere to land. If I could speak to you right now, without fear or pride getting in the way, I think I would simply say this. Thank you for every soft moment. Thank you for every late-night conversation. Thank you for every time you held my hand when life became too heavy. Thank you for teaching me that love could feel gentle instead of painful. And I'm sorry for all the moments I didn't know how to love you correctly. I'm sorry for the misunderstandings, the silence, the distance, the timing. I'm sorry life turned us into strangers carrying the same memories alone, because no matter where this world takes us, a part of me will always remember you beneath moonlight. Beautiful, honest, human. And tonight, while the whole world sleeps beneath this glowing sky, I keep imagining what it would feel like if fate gave us one impossible moment again, no anger, no past, no future. Just you and me standing beneath this full moon, arms wrapped around each other, like nothing, in the universe, could separate us again. Under every full moon, love remembers what the heart tries to forget. There's something strange about the full moon. It doesn't ask permission before reopening old memories. It just appears in the sky, bright and quiet, and suddenly every feeling you buried deep inside begins breathing again. Tonight is one of those nights. The kind of night where the world becomes softer, slower, and somehow lonelier. The kind of night where your heart starts remembering things your mind spent months trying to erase. And under this moon, I remember you. Not just your face, not just your smile. I remember the feeling of you, the warmth of your presence beside me. The comfort in your silence, the safety I found in your arms after difficult days when the world felt too heavy to survive alone. People think memories fade with time. But some memories don't fade, they wait, quietly, patiently. And then one night, beneath a full moon like this, they return all at once. I still remember the way you used to look at the sky when your thoughts became too loud. You never needed attention when you were hurting. You just needed peace. Sometimes we would sit together without speaking for hours, letting silence say the things words couldn't. And somehow, those silent moments became the loudest memories in my soul. Tonight I would give anything to sit beside you like that again. Not to fix what broke us, not to change the ending, just to feel close to you one more time while the moon watches from above like it always did. There's a different kind of pain that comes from loving someone you can no longer touch. It's not dramatic every day, sometimes it hides quietly behind routines and smiles, but nights like this expose everything, every hidden ache, every unfinished sentence. Every memory your heart secretly protected from disappearing, and my heart protected you more than I realized. I still carry your laughter in places nobody can see. I still remember the sound of your footsteps. The way your voice softened when you were tired, the way your hand searched for mine without thinking whenever we walked together. Those little things became sacred after you left. Funny how love works. While we're living inside beautiful moments, we rarely understand their true value. We think there will always be more time, more sunsets, more conversations, more chances to say, I love you, before someone walks away, but life doesn't warn us when something is becoming a memory. That's why people break, not because love wasn't real, but because it was, and ours was real. I know that now more than ever, even after the distance, even after silence replaced our conversations. Even after life pulled us in different directions, there are still nights where my soul recognizes yours before my mind can stop it, especially under this moon. The moon has seen everything, hasn't it? It saw us during the happiest nights of our lives. It saw us laugh until midnight became morning. It saw the way you leaned your head against my shoulder when the world exhausted you. It saw how carefully I loved you, even when I struggled to express it perfectly. And it also saw the ending, the quiet distance, the pain we tried to hide from each other. The moments we pretended to be okay while slowly drifting apart inside. Sometimes I wonder if love dies suddenly or slowly. Maybe it's neither. Maybe love stays alive long after two people stop speaking. Maybe that's why certain names still age years later. Because love doesn't always disappear. Sometimes it simply loses its place in someone's life while continuing to exist inside their heart. That's what you became for me. A love without a place to go, a feeling too deep to explain, but too powerful to deny. There are nights when I convince myself I've moved on completely. I laugh again, I focus on life. I tell myself the past is finally behind me. Then a full moon rises above the city, and suddenly I remember everything. The late night talks, the sleepy smiles, the way your eyes looked at me when you thought I wasn't paying attention. The way holding you felt like finding shelter during a storm. I miss that feeling more than anything. Not just romance, peace. You brought peace into my life in ways nobody else understood. Before you, my thoughts were loud all the time. My fears, my loneliness, my uncertainty, they followed me everywhere. but somehow, your presence softened all of it. You made life feel less frightening, and maybe that's why losing you felt like losing part of myself too, because some people don't just enter your life. They change its atmosphere completely. You changed mine. Even now, after everything, I still catch myself wanting to tell you things, small things, random things, like how beautiful the moon looked tonight, or how a certain song reminded me of the way we used to drive through empty streets at night, with no destination in mind. God, I miss those nights. We didn't need expensive places or perfect plans. We just needed each other. That was enough to make ordinary moments feel unforgettable.